I'd now like to give the floor to the Director of UNESCO Institute for Information Technologies in Education, Mr. Tao ZHAN.
Madam Chair, and good morning, dear colleagues. 早上好. It's simply great to be at a great conference like this and in a great place like Montego Bay. And it's my great honor. It's the great honor to have the opportunity to speak at the conference, though it is always challenging to share the same stage with excellent speakers. And sorry. So for the best presentation on subtheme 4, you are kindly invited to the breakout sessions, and where you can find more exciting and deeper presentations offered by the team in this area. However, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to talk about ICT and nightmares of teachers. And I think it's the right time to talk about ICT because just last week, UNESCO published the new version 3, the so-called ICT Competency for teachers. It is understandable that teaching today is becoming a very tough and challenging job, a challenging promotion. All the teachers, they are expected to be an expert in pedagogy, and meanwhile, they are expected to understand, to master the new technologies. So maybe this is what I call good fortune or nightmare. Let me start with a common observation. And I think most of us believe that ICT has this unique power in transforming teaching and learning today, as well as achieving our 2030 education agenda. And teachers play the most important role for teaching and learning. The right to education means the right to qualified teachers. And from this, therefore, we easily come to the following conclusion. A qualified teacher in the digital age means a teacher with very strong digital skills and ICT competency. So as I just said, teaching becomes a very challenging profession in the digital age. Very often, teachers are expected and even required to master digital skills like experts do. And sometimes teachers are marked or blamed as obstacles in promoting ICT in education. We ask ourselves, is it fair or correct? Are we moving in the right direction? I would like to share with you a very common example of my own parents. Both of them are over 80 years old. They understand nothing of ICT. However, every morning, my mother sent greeting messages to all her kids and great children who live all over the world, in Germany, in the United States, in Russia, as I'm working now in Moscow for UNESCO, and in China. She collects the best, most beautiful, many beautiful pictures from her friends and internet, and also nice articles, and share with all of us. It's always so warm and touching to receive greetings from her. And also she called on video chat to all of us at the weekend. And she can also read text sent by the great kids from United States in English by simply touch the text and choose the option translation into Chinese. So they understand nothing of ICT, but both of them can use mobile phone and computer almost as well as I do. Why? This is simply because they have a smartphone and a smart app. In China, we call it WeChat, which also is available all over the world. So, digital skills of teachers and digital support for teachers, these are the two issues I would like to share with you some of my observations. I think it is not realistic to expect, even not fair to request all the teachers to master digital skills and ICT competency like experts. And therefore, while teachers are encouraged to improve their digital skills and ICT competency, and while resources, vast amount of resources and energy are invested to the training of teachers, ICT competency, they also need digital support, like the smartphone and smart apps for old people like my parents. Providing digital support environment to teachers should be the shared responsibility of policymakers, educators, private sectors, and the international education community, including all of us. And the first question is, what is the digital support teacher needs in the digital age? What the teachers they need badly in the digital age? The first one I would like to say is a new textbook. I'm a mathematician. I like identities and or equations. In the traditional model, good education means good teacher plus good textbook. And at the digital age, I believe that good education means good teacher plus a smart textbook. So what is a smart textbook? Smart textbook, this terminology was already used, has been used by someone. And let me explain briefly. The basic function of a smart textbook consists of the following. It should be online resources and teaching segments supporting classroom teaching. It's an online system supporting students' self-learning and interactive learning. It's an online system monitoring and assisting student learning. And very importantly, it should be a research-driven with new pedagogy and advanced ICT-enabled teaching methods by making use of big data, artificial intelligence, and so on. So, SmartBook is a MOOC? No, SmartBook is not a MOOC, though it shares much in common with MOOC. SmartBook does not replace teachers. Rather, it supports teachers' teaching and supports school-based learning. We may name it as smart book, textbook, not smart book, smart textbook, or massive open online textbook. I call it MOOC instead of MOOC. So Pearson's e-text provides a good example, though I'm not quite satisfied with the functions already there. We need further development based on their examples. So why do we promote smart textbook or MOOCs? The reason I listed 4 reasons. Supporting teacher teaching and ICT competency building. I think teachers' ICT capacity building must be subject-based. Once you have smart textbook, teachers can be trained, can learn automatically and compulsory as every day in the classroom. And secondly, we always talk about mainstream ICT in education. Once the smart textbook is there, you have to use it. It's mainstream. It's in classroom and out of classroom. And it narrows the digital divide and digital use divide between rich and poor once it is shared by everyone, all over the world. And finally, it can transform teaching and learning. And how to promote it? MOOCs. And my suggestion is as follows, that all the textbooks are public funded or purchased with public funds. So the governments or policymakers, they are the duty bearers. To ensure free and quality textbook for kids is a responsibility of governments. And adopting standards of smart textbooks at the national level and redesigning textbooks and reshaping the textbook markers. It's challenging, however, it's very ambitious goal to change the whole structure of textbook. We have the campaign so-called one student, one textbook. So what we really need in the digital age is a campaign for smart textbook for all. And UNESCO, as an international organization focusing on education, I think we should draft a guide for smart textbooks, assisting member states in design and developing smart textbooks. And very importantly is education publishers. They should set up best examples as pioneers in leading the future learning and teaching. And that's smart textbook. I think once you have the basic infrastructure, assessment to internet, the basic infrastructure, what is the most fundamental environment teachers need? That's a smart textbook or MOOCs. And at the school level, we need something else to unify, to collect, to support all the smart textbooks. It must be subject-based model environment supporting teaching, and it provides common tools and environment for teaching, discussion, and communication. As an example, we have Blackboard, Schoology, and also subject-based. For instance, as a mathematician, I like MathLab. And in one of the presentations in the break section, one of the professors from Smart University is going to talk about a new design of another example. And beyond school level, we need open education resources and then public tools. Hopefully, they are free for all teachers. And now we have plenty of them, but we need more and more open license resources supporting teaching and learning. So that's the first question. Another question, very briefly. What future support needed for teachers' continuing professional development? I just mentioned something I think which are fundamental for teachers' continuing professional development. The first one is EMAS. That's Education Management Information System. EMAS is like infrastructure, which collects data for teachers and students of schools, and also support teachers' continuing professional development, and particularly when they are moving from one school to another or when they get promotion. For their lifelong learning, lifelong professional development, EMAS is essential for all teachers. And secondly, it's a learning community. I think teachers are the ones who really understand teaching, not me. And so building partnership and networking and collecting and sharing best practice, they are the best way, they are the most practical way for us to learn, to meet the challenges. And as I learned from Mr. Adam Dobra, that TTF's secretariat is going to have a knowledge platform. I think this is a good example. And IITE is ready to join with our partners to make our contribution to that platform. And finally, let me mention special support for special needs. For instance, focusing on gender equality and focusing on special education for persons with disabilities, which is one of the priorities at IITE. Finally, let me say a few words about my institute. UNESCO IITE is UNESCO Institute, Category 1 Institute for Information Technology in Education, which was founded 21 years ago in Moscow. Now we have 4 units. It's a nice picture. And my colleague Natalia is here with me. Where is she? It's here. And we are working on policy and research, digital pedagogy, teacher professional development, ICT and health education with a common shared period, that's teachers. And we have a global governing board with a chair. He's a chancellor of Smart University in Dubai. So, welcome to IITE and welcome to Moscow. We are ready to work together with all of you in the future. Thank you very much.